Rippy is boring. I have never been more disappointed with a monster movie in my entire life. The premise alone sounds like it would be a fun, comedic piss take of the monster movie genre. Emphasis on the word fun. I mean, a murderous, zombie, rabid kangaroo terrorizing a small town in the Australian outbacks? That sounds like it would be fucking hysterical. Much like a movie like Zombievers or Black Sheep. But that is not what we got. What we got was a boring, uninspired mess that takes itself way too seriously with an unlikable main character and the only funny aspect of the film turning out to be the horrific CGI. But before I get too deeply into it, let me get introductions out of the way. Hi everybody, I'm Misa, and I love bad movies. And not only do I love watching bad movies, but I love talking about them and getting other people to watch them because I enjoy making people watch the stupid shit that I like. Hence why I'm making this video. And another reason why I'm making this video is for my amazing patrons, Rob Slide, Fox, and James Horner. You guys are great and you've been really supportive with my content and my artwork, so thank you. Thank you so much. Now, let's get into Rippy. So, when my husband bought this movie for me as a joke gift, since he buys me bad movies as joke gifts for my birthday and Christmas every year, I can't lie, I was actually really excited to watch it. I'm a sucker for self-aware, silly monster movies. I mean, one of the types of bad movies that I watch the most is shark films. I find them fun, especially when they know that they're bad and they just make the most out of it with actual jokes or just being over the top in how ridiculous the premise is, like Sharktopus or The Meg. And like I said, the idea of a movie about a zombie kangaroo sounds really funny. The trailer to Rippy, which is also known as The Red, lame, portrays the film like it's an overdramatic monster flick that knows that the premise is ludicrous and uses the premise for comedic effect.
G'day, Skip.
And that's what we were expecting when my husband and I sat down to watch it. However, halfway through the movie, we both looked at each other and said, "This is fucking boring." I can't emphasize how much effort it takes to make a movie about a murderous kangaroo dull. I was hoping for something akin to the first episode of The Mighty Boosh with the boxing kangaroo. I mean, that episode is still funny to this day.
Bookmarks.
I don't like bookmarks. They like edgy characters.
I've got edge.
You're about as edgy as a Satsuma.
But what I got was an admittedly competently shot, but overly serious movie where even the dark lighting cannot hide how bad the CGI of the monster is. And all of the entertainment value was lost in a sea of mediocre kills and uninteresting character motivations and arcs. I think my main complaint with this movie is the fact that it didn't need to be a serious film. The best path for movies like this is to, yeah, introduce characters that you can root for and or watch get torn apart by the monster, but to also have a fun journey to reaching the point of the death of the antagonist. Or the inevitable ending where the monster had a baby or something that's gonna seek revenge. I mean, fuck, even Cocaine Bear did this type of movie way better than this did. But this movie includes really overly serious topics with the main cast, like alcoholism, losing a child, and war veteran PTSD.
In Vietnam, it was everywhere. June 30th, 1971.
All to make Rippy seem like a more grounded movie. But I don't want a grounded movie, I want a stupid movie about a killer zombie kangaroo like I was promised in the trailer. I mean, I think the numbers probably speak for themselves here. The movie's budget was $7.5 million, which does show in the cinematography and the technical quality of basically everything except for the CGI kangaroo. Like, the movie looks pretty good considering, and it was one of the first things that I noticed when I first watched it. I mean, the direction's nothing special, but compared to all of the other movies that I tend to watch, especially for this channel, it was refreshing to see something with quality in the visuals. However, the worldwide gross for this film was, prepare yourselves, just above $128.5 thousand, according to IMDb. I mean, that is just embarrassing, dude. You only made 1.71% of your budget back. Like, Jesus Christ. If anything would humble me as a director, it would be this. But anyway, let's get into what actually happens in this boring mess before I go off on a tangent. As always, spoiler warning for the whole movie, so if you want to watch it for whatever reason, you guessed it, you can watch it on Prime. So, let's get into Rippy. So, as the movie begins, we're shown one of the weirdest things about the movie, but also one of the main reasons why it annoys me so much. We get a decent establishing shot, which shows that the budget clearly went towards the camera quality and a good drone for shots like this. And then we see some gore in this tent, and again, it looks pretty good. Seeing the shot the first time that I watched this movie, I was getting really hyped because the practical effects looked really good. And then we see Rippy. I don't think it's outrageous of me to say that he looks fucking awful. We get some dialogue from the main character, Maddie, about her dad, and then our first real interaction between a main character and Rippy himself. I'm pretty sure that they used practical effects for this shot, and it looks way better than the CGI shots of him. Seriously, I love it when movies use practical effects over CGI, and I really wish that more movies did it. I know that it's time consuming, but it looks so much better. This one shot looks so good compared to the other shots of Rippy himself as a CGI monster. So, Maddie is the local cop, and they do this super tired trope of the dude who interacted with Rippy, Schmitty, telling her about it and her thinking that he's just crazy. The thing is though, it's a kangaroo. This isn't the most unbelievable thing for someone to tell you in Australia of all fucking places.
I've seen a beast in the guise of a huge kangaroo, a 7 foot tall, big red.
Maybe the kangaroo isn't as dangerous as he's making out, but you could have at least called animal control or something to check it out if you can't be bothered to. And this is probably the perfect time to comment on Maddie as a character. She sucks. Not only is she a terrible cop, and is basically the reason why most of the people in the movie die in the first place, which I will get to in a little bit, but her character is so fucking annoying. She's arrogant in her abilities as a cop, and her actress keeps doing this thing where her mouth is always slightly agape to show negative emotions, and she looks so stupid doing it. I'll get more into it later, but I hated her character watching this. And it almost made me want Rippy to kill her. Not the best thing for your audience to not be rooting for the main character. Anyway, she breaks up a fight at a bar.
Right, you can sleep it off in your car or you can walk, but you're not driving anywhere.
No, what? Come on, we're sorry.
We will not have any more trouble.
No one can give him a lift. You can't give him a lift? God, Rippy looks so bad.
What are you doing? You hear that? My piss. Let's do that.
Wait, how did he pull him down like that? With his tail? Huh? How did he get on this side of the road? He attacked initially from the other side. What is happening? Now, obviously, these guys get murked, so their bodies are looked at by what I assume is a coroner?
Sorry about the dust. There's going to be a bit of a smell.
This dusty-ass room can't possibly be the coroner's office. There is no fucking way. There is no sanitization going on in this room. It looks like a room from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, so this plot point is so unbelievably stupid, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, so Maddie goes after this dude as the main suspect for the murder of the two guys from earlier, solely because he has one previous count of manslaughter.
Dave, can you get one of your new workers to meet me at your office? His name is Reuben Williams. He's got a violent rap sheet, including a prior for manslaughter.
Manslaughter, which could potentially be completely accidental. he so happened to work with the guys who died. She has no indication that he was even there during the attack, and she assumes that he's done it based on just that. Plus, it's very obvious that some kind of wild animal did the attack because there's bite and scratch marks all over the bodies. But even if it wasn't obvious that an animal did it, making this assumption is a stupid thing for a cop to do. I understand investigating it, but making the assumption and then making an arrest and assuming that you have just cracked the case is fucking ludicrous.
Where were you last night, Ruben?
I want my lawyer.
Okay, not to discount everything that I just said, but why wouldn't he just answer her question? You are not making yourself look good, buddy.
Yes, he's locked up now.
So that's it then?
That's it.
No, that's not it. You're an awful cop. He's a suspect. If that, the case has not been fucking solved.
Wait, so I can go for a run?
Yeah, trophy, remember?
So because Maddie is a terrible cop, her friend's kid dies in a completely preventable way.
Sweetheart, this is not your fault.
Yes it is! So Maddie heads to Smitty's place, I guess because she now believes that it could have been a kangaroo that killed the man and the kid, since there were kangaroo tracks by the kid's body.
There were tracks. There were tracks all around Troy. What tracks? Rue tracks.
I don't know if the bite and scratch marks couldn't have given it away, or the fact that Smitty already told her that it was a fucking kangaroo, but whatever. So Smitty and Maddie's dad were war veterans and clearly both have/had PTSD. And Smitty tells the story of him and Maddie's dad seeing a dragon while in combat.
When we looked up, there was no jet fighter. But we saw a dragon.
Now, when I initially watched this movie, I assumed that this was supposed to be a weird explanation as to why Rippy exists or something. You know, like some kind of weird black magic or, you know, animals coming up from the depths of hell or something, because that's what it kind of seemed like.
Hell itself opened up and swallowed men alive. We hid in the bottom of our hole, wanting to scratch our eyes from our faces for the horror that we had looked upon.
But it's even stupider than that. So, the dragon isn't literal, it's a psychological analogy for people with PTSD called the PTS dragon. According to Google, the dragon is supposed to represent a kind of protector which the brain conjures up when it interprets you as being in danger. And the reason why this analogy can be damaging for people is that the dragon can end up lingering when combat veterans go back to civilian life, and it can cause hypervigilance, nightmares, survivor's guilt, anxiety, and emotional detachment. And when I was looking into this, I had one major thought running through my mind. This is a movie about a zombie kangaroo. Why the fuck are we talking about war vet PTSD? Like, don't get me wrong, I think in a better movie, having this concept be an aspect of one of the characters' backstories would be really interesting, and I love stuff to do with psychology, especially things like PTSD or depression or anxiety. I think it's all really cool stuff to look into, but why the fuck is it involved in a movie about a zombie kangaroo? They head out to try and find Rippy, and in my opinion, Maddie really shouldn't be involving civilians in a murder case, even if she thinks it was an animal. Like, hire professionals. 2 people wandered down the street and got absolutely demolished, and a kid was running through the forest and got torn apart. Why are you putting civilians in danger? Her getting the miners to help is just stupid and irresponsible, especially because she's getting the group to split up into 2 search parties. Why? Hence why I said that she basically gets everyone in this movie killed.
We're actually really close to where your father died.
Why would he say that as if she doesn't know where her dad died? I mean, she was there. She's made that very clear in the film. Honestly, this is probably because the CGI looks so horrendous, but these deaths are just so lame.
Hey, you're safe, it's okay. Dave, please, can you listen to me? Listen to me. Can we take you home, Dave, please? Come on, we have to do something, you have to do something!
She's doing her best to act here, bless her.
Maddie, where's Midas? Troy, this is not Dave. This is not your fault. Dad? It's like they're all just dying because of me.
I mean... It's not her fault that her dad died, clearly, but it definitely is her fault that everyone else died. If she hadn't have told these guys to walk home instead of organising a lift for them, then they wouldn't be dead. If she hadn't have assumed that she caught the murderer in a half-assed way, then the kid wouldn't be dead. And if she hadn't have included civilians in the search for the kangaroo, then they would be alive, so... And the stupidity continues, because they managed to get a radio phone thing, and instead of calling the other cops or animal control, they call the pub! That's right, they call the fucking pub to warn them about Rippy. These guys deserve to die, I'm so sorry.
A group of us went out to destroy whatever animal killed Troy Kitchener. It's a fucking massive roo. We're the only ones left.
Where's Dave?
She just said they're the only ones left. Are you deaf? So luckily, one cop turns up to help. One.
G'day, Skip.
This death was made just for the trailer, and you cannot convince me otherwise. It's the only one that even attempted a sliver of humor. I really do not understand how I didn't see them, but okay. Shoot the brain, dude! Fucking hell! I don't think a kangaroo jumping at that speed would have been stopped in its tracks by an 120-pound woman with an axe, but... okay.
What the hell?
This reveal that the kangaroo caused a zombie apocalypse is so lame. I'm sorry, it is. Nothing could save this movie, and this is coming from someone who loves zombie media. This is so bad. This end credit sequence is just so lazily made, I'm sorry. I always like to big up artists when they work on these types of films because I do art myself, but fucking hell, this is so bad. Rippy. More like, Rippy this fucking movie from my memory. As I said in the beginning of this review, this movie was so fucking boring. I say this all the time, but the worst thing that a movie can be, in my opinion, is boring, especially when it had the potential to be entertaining and fun. Honestly, I just want you to ask yourself, with everything that I've shown you about this film, would you actually sit down and watch it? Does it look entertaining to you? Yeah, that's what I thought. When it comes to ranking this thing, I just have to put it in wow, you really didn't try. I was thinking of putting it in this could have been good, because the potential was there, but the makers of this movie didn't even attempt to make it entertaining in a fun way. The idea was good, and clearly they had the budget to make something better than a lot of other silly monster movies. But the script, characters, and tone was so off, and it made the movie boring. Honestly, the zombie kangaroo movie being boring is a fucking travesty. At least now I can say I watched this thing and I'm never gonna touch it again. Until I want to torture my friends during bad movie night. So that's Rippy! Yay! As always, if you disagree with my ranking for whatever reason, or even the points that I made in the video, then you can let me know in the comments. Although, seeing the IMDb and Letterboxd reviews for this thing, I don't think I'm in the minority with my opinion. Alternatively, you can also tweet at me. The links to my Twitter /X and Blue Sky accounts as well as my Letterboxd are in the description. And for generous people who want to support me making these videos, my Ko-Fi and my Patreon are also in the description. If you join the Patreon, you'll receive early access to my videos, my artwork, and monthly commissions by yours truly, similar to these examples that I'm showing on screen now. So if that interests you or you like the look of my art style, then you can become a member. Alternatively, you can message me on Twitter or Blue Sky. I do commission separately from my Patreon, and I'm also showing examples of commissions that I've done in the background as well. So just let me know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I would like to say that my next video will be more positive, but I don't want to spoil anything. I already know what movie I'm going to cover next, and I think you guys are going to like it. So I will see you then. Bye!